Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gonzo Ewok channel. With me, Ewok?
That's right, you're Ewok. Still confused after last time, eh? I'm Gonzo, I know my name. And this is Geordie Space Program. Alright, so you'll notice that we've started in the vehicle assembly building and we've got a new monstrosity to show you. So let's talk through this.
Quite small, only cost 19 grand. Now, if you saw last week's episode, you'll have saw that we slightly cocked up the contract and that we put a satellite in orbit, but it wasn't the right kind of satellite. What we needed was a brand new satellite built specifically for this mission.
Yep.
We used an existing one, so it didn't like that. And it also needed to have a materials bay, which
also
the
known as a Science Junior.
Which
confused us just before we started.
If you see in the bottom right corner here, we've got the contracts tab. We've ticked off get in the orbit, have a thermometer on the satellite, maintain stability, but we've missed out having materials bay and it being a new satellite. So we're coming back to finish off the small print with this new model.
Aye.
Now, because this top bit here is quite light, the actual satellite itself, we reckon we'll be able to get into orbit with this very small rocket.
Yeah, it's a 20 grand special.
And if it doesn't work, it's only cost us 20 grand. So, bearing in mind that the mission itself's worth about 150 grand.
So the logic is that materials bay is maybe a little bit heavier than the previous satellites that we've sent up. However,
only one of them.
There is only one of them compared to the 4 that were sent up last time. We've also got some of those massive solid rocket boosters to get us started. We've also what else have we got on here? Trying to think something else exciting about it. Oh, we've got your little cage. That's what I was going to say. Show the
that's
cage
a little protective cage using girders that have been offset to surround the engine, because often when you pop these solids out, they can scrape along the inside of the rocket and blow the engine up.
Aye.
I don't want that to happen, so the girders are there to push it back out.
I think we've showed that little design tip probably towards the start of this series, I think.
Very possibly. It's the one that I use quite often.
Yeah, we haven't shown it.
It doesn't always work. Sometimes it blows up the middle of the rocket and there's not much you can do about that. But I think it's quite nice to have that. Also, it looks pretty cool like that, doesn't
it? Yeah. I quite like the look of this. We've then got an 800 fuel tank with an LV-45 to help once these solids burn out.
We do, yes. And then a 200 fuel tank with a small engine.
The old WUS engine, the old reliable WUS engine. Because let's be honest, as long as we can get up into orbit, we know that WUS engine with that amount of fuel, we can get it to the orbit that we need. We must be motoring along at quite some friggin' speed here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You haven't tilted with, I've noticed.
I can't tilt this. We've got no control when we're using the solid boosters.
Bosh. There we go.
See, there we go. It's not exactly a fuel optimal ascent, but you know, it's going to get the job done. We'll probably... Yeah. I mean, if you look at that, just the solids alone have took us out this far. So let's just get into a nice...
put out into orbit, and then we'll worry about my inclination and getting everything sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as this first stage gets us into orbit, which it should bloody do, then we're all sound.
I think one thing that we've learned here is that sometimes actually taking smaller vessels is worth doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the bigger things get, the more power they need to get them up.
Yeah, obviously.
And that scales at an astronomical rate.
Yeah.
Like, if you double your weight, you need... Well, I don't know exactly how it works,
more thrust.
But you need much more
thrust. Yeah, you need more than double the thrust
to do it.
So it's good. I mean, we're contemplating looking at seeing if we can unlock the tiny parts, weren't we? And then we thought, because we've got that materials bay.
Yeah, if we didn't have the materials bay, it would be quite feasible to build a satellite using the tiny parts, and quite cost effective as well. But the materials bay is kind of scuppered that for us, because it does have a little bit of weight to it. You need something a little bit bigger.
I mean, for instance, if we ever decide that we want to go and find out how hot the sun is, we could just make a tiny little thing covered in science gear.
We'd still need a carrier stage to take it into orbit, but again, that carrier stage would be exponentially smaller.
Aye. We've also changed the solar panels just so it looks a little bit different. We've got the short fattens on here.
Yes, the 3x2.
Some people like a long,
some
people like a long, thin one. Some people prefer a slightly shorter but fatter one. It's all personal taste. I mean, they all achieve the same thing at the end of the day. It's just what you like. Don't worry if yours is a bit shorter and fatter. Don't worry if yours is longer or thinner. Ideally, it would be long and fat, but you know,
we can't all be blessed like Gonzo and Ewok.
There we go. So
I'm sure
that threw me off me stroke a little bit here.
No pun intended.
How we doing
People would be questioning how I have such an intimate knowledge of your genitalia.
Aye.
And the truth is that you have to sleep sometime.
Well, yeah, of course. This is a thing. But I think the thing is, with 20 plus years of friendship, you're just like, well, fuck it, you know. Not literally, of course.
It's just double entendre after double entendre here.
Well, I thought we'd just go to the sort of the Max Bygraves style of double entendre, kind of 70s Jeremy Lloyd style comedy for this episode. Figured why not.
Well, there we go. That's all the fuel thrown away. So let's contemplate getting this bad boy.
Yeah, let's
where it needs to
change subject fairly quick from discussions of length and girth. All right. I'm smoking on key lime vape of the day. It's very nice. My regular supply. It's a new flavour that they're stocking. It's very canny.
How very lovely.
Aye. I've still got my fizzy grape, which is my personal favourite. I like grape soda flavoured stuff.
I like grape soda. Grape soda's lovely. There's not many places you can get it.
It's quite tricky to find.
You can get it in Sainsbury's up the road, but it's unusually it's in the world food section.
It's because it's really, really popular in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Most of the ones that you get tend to be imported, I think, from Jamaica. I know the one that they keep up in Sainsbury's is a Jamaican import, which means that it's slightly more expensive than buying regular pop. It's fairly popular in America as well. So like places like there's the American Sweet Shop, and those kind of places are. You can find it there. Another one, can you remember old Jimmy's Ices, the old ice cream man we used to stop off at? He used to be around outside the school
I
when we were kids.
Jimmy's
Ices. Unless you're from our hometown, that probably doesn't mean anything to anybody. But he used to stock Car, which was like the black tins.
Oh yeah, I used to get that.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I used to get that across the road when I was at uni. Yeah, there was a shop across the road. Used to sell Car.
That's a good grape soda.
They did Guanabana, which was really good.
Yeah, they do.
Really sweet and sickly and lovely.
Aye.
I also like a good root beer. I'm a bit of a root beer fan.
Aye, I like root beer. I like sarsaparilla as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the rich man's dandelion and burdock.
Aye, it's
I've overshot there a bit. Let's bring.
If you like pop that tastes a bit like medicine, these are probably drinks you would enjoy.
Have you ever had sarsaparilla and rum?
I have not. I only had a couple of tins of it. There was a guy at work. He used to live out in America, so he's got a taste for like American things. He lived there for a number of years, and so he's got like a supply, and he gets lots of that kind of stuff. He
knows a guy.
He gets his hands on lots of this stuff, and he brought us a couple of tins in. We were chatting about it at work, and he brought us some in. But I gave one to my dad because my dad likes stuff like that, and he hadn't tried it. And then I had a tin as well. And it was very nice, and I remember thinking this would be really nice, particularly with like a spiced rum.
I like it with the dark rum.
Aye, but I thought that might be quite nice. I'll tell you something else that I got my hands on yesterday. Yesterday, we're recording this one straight off the back of last episode, so it's still a weekend for us. We're recording on a Sunday.
Do you ever feel like we don't talk about Kerbal Space Program much these days when we're playing Kerbal Space Program?
It's fairly obvious what we're doing. I mean, people can see it. They know kind of where I'm all by now. Look.
Oh, that's pretty, isn't it?
Aye, it certainly is. But yeah, I went up to Bamborough Castle yesterday, so I was having a bit of a look round, and then I went into that gift shop and they had spiced mead.
Spiced mead?
Lindisfarne mead's like a big deal up in the northeast. Like, it's not like a really popular drink, but it's like a fairly famous mead made on the island of Lindisfarne.
Not Lindisfarne?
Well,
I always thought Lindisfarne was from Edinburgh.
What?
I'm joking, God.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, but...
Although they do have a nice meadery in Edinburgh. I've been.
Well, the thing is, if people don't know Northumberland, and it's not like we assume that people have knowledge, I'm sure most of our viewers live within about 15 miles of where we are, but if people don't, you know, if it's an American fella, or like, you know, a German lady comes across and watches it, they might not know about Lindisfarne. But if
they've seen the Vikings, they would have known about Lindisfarne, because didn't they land on Lindisfarne and kick the crap out of everybody?
That was the first big raid, yes, it was.
Yeah.
But in any event, I picked up spiced mead, which is really, really nice. I've got some of that downstairs. The other thing I saw is what's called like a Percy warmer, which I thought was a filthy name and nearly dropped the bottle when I read it. Yeah, Percy warmer. But that's like, it's Annick rum, which is a really popular but very expensive dark rum. That's
the mission's been complete now, by the way.
Oh, there we go. That's nice. But Percy warmer. Back to what's important. Sod the mission. I'm talking about rum. Dark rum. And then it had ginger wine, which I know you're a bit of a fan of.
I do like ginger wine.
So it's dark rum with ginger wine, and then sort of spices added to that as well. And that's a lovely one. We're out and it was like blowing a complete gale. So we ended up swigging this little miniature of this stuff. It was lovely.
Transmit that science because we're just throwing science away.
I want to see the bit stick out the end though. So we've got the sun on my face.
Okay, I'll transmit.
And then transmit because I want to see the little lipstick stick out the top. Oh, it's not.
That's not doing it. It's transmitting.
Extend the bit at the top anyway. There we are. Nice. Well, that went quite well, to be honest.
It went ridiculously well.
Without a hitch.
We've only been recording for 10 minutes.
Jesus.
This really belongs on Kerbal Shorts rather than the main Geordie Space Program series, doesn't it?
Maybe we should record another one and put that one up a bit later on the same day.
What, you think we'll stick this one on after the last one? Because the last video was 27 minutes.
Aye.
Probably should have stopped recording while we had this discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stick this on the end of Geordie Space Program episode 10, which you'll know by this point because you'll be watching it on Geordie Space Program episode 10. This was meant to be episode 11, but it's been far too short.
Aye. No, but I think it's been a good one. We've getting some cash. We'll see what we can come up with. And why the extension bit? The bit it went back in. It doesn't look right.
Had it retracted like a dog's erection?
Yeah, after it's done its thing. Anyway, okay, then I think we'll see what we're going to do for next episode. But for now, thank you very much for watching. If you want to drop a like, if you want to give us a comment, tell what you think. If you haven't subscribed already, that would be much appreciated. And we shall see you in the next video. We can't put that out.
Yeah,
okay then, goodbye.
It's stuck now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.